and talk to me.
Lennard Ray. That's
Come
your
on.
name.
Come and talk to
Look.
me. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type, but baby, listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you, if you quit playing. Won't you take a chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk to me. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Look, see, we vibing and you know it's true. Baby, what it do? Do for me and I'ma do for you. No doubt about it, boo. See, I'm a Midwest king, looking for myself a queen. Ready to chase a dream with a dope self-esteem. You find it in all I know, and that's for real. You get to shaking that ass on the floor, and I see what's real. No disrespect, I just tell it like it is. Do you ever want some kids? What your ultimate goals? Maybe I can help with those. The mo was broke when he made you a blessing. You looking like a whole buffet, and I need some seconds. You say you had promiscuous ways, that was back in the day. I'll be alive, I say I did it, that shit was a phase. So baby, take this journey with me. You can pick the time and place, this nigga isn't picky. Smile on your face, I know the deal. Sign and deliver after seal. I can see it in her eyes, this one right here for real. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type, but baby, listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you, if you quit playing. Won't you take the chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk, yeah. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Lady, you so far ahead of these others, just like a ship on the horizon. Picking up on your vibe, signal stronger than Verizon. All the thoughts that I've been contemplating, ain't no time for faking or debating. You the one, ain't no mistaking. Look, I see you swag different. Always carry yourself like you ready, you know the mission. I had to know you, I'm tempted. I can see why you timid. Hold up now, baby, listen. Just take that dance with me, I can show you that there's a difference. I'm locked in. I throw away my playaways because you pop in. A shooter always shoot a shot. With you by my side, I guarantee we'll reach the top. I put that on God and then I'll give you all that I got. So baby, take this journey with me. You can pick the time and place, this nigga isn't picky. Smile on your face, I know the deal. Sign and deliver after seal. I can see it in her eyes, this one right here for real. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type, but baby, listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you, if you quit playing. Won't you take that chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk, yeah. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk to me.
Welcome to the Behind Them Sticks podcast, brought to you by TSWS Gaming.
Come and talk to me.
Lennard Ray. That's
Come
your
on.
name.
Come and talk to
Look.
me. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type, but baby, listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you, if you quit playing. Won't you take the chance with me and have that conversation?
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Awesome. We are live. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic episode of Behind Them Sticks with your boy Ham Solo 05 Gaming, here with you on the TSWS Gaming YouTube channel. And today I have an awesome guest that I'd love to bring you guys and have you guys get to know while I get to know her as well. She goes by the name of KRYSTOAST. What's cracking with you today? How are you doing this evening? How's the weather? How's gaming? How is, things for you?
Oh, we've got a lot of stuff to get through today, so I'm very excited. Hi, everybody. I'm KRYSTOAST. If you don't know me, that's probably because I'm new. So what are we doing? Are we talking about backgrounds already, or what?
Well, we haven't quite got there yet, because the first thing that I
Okay,
like to have people do when they come onto the show is let everybody know where they can find them and everything like that. Because
Oh,
I
yeah, I
mean,
guess
not
that's
everybody.
important.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty important, especially when you're upcoming and whatnot. So definitely let everybody know like what gaming or social media platforms that you're comfortable with sharing with the rest of the community, or the people out there.
Okay, well, I am mostly on Twitter for the text-based social media, which is at Christos. Oh, and I know a lot of people who kind of refer to me have a hard time figuring out how to pronounce my name. My name is Crystal, so it's Chris and Toast. So Christos. That's where you'll pretty much find me on any social media or any of the gaming stuff like PlayStation, PSN, gamer tag, and all that stuff. The
Mm.
only, yeah, so Christos, same with my YouTube channel at Christos. So that's me. Oh, I lied. I totally lied already. I'm sorry. It's Twitter is underscore Christos.
Yeah, there you go.
um,
Right. And I
yeah.
actually have it in the description, you guys. So in case you guys need that specific and you don't really remember exactly, like, because there is another Christos on there. If you just hit
Yes,
at
that's
and
also
type in
me.
Christos, it's a different person. Is it? It's wait, it's you?
That's also me. I want to
I
get rid of
purposely
that
tried
other
to
one. I
dodge
don't
it.
know.
I purposely tried to dodge it because I was like, I clicked it and I was like, oh crap, I think she has an underscore. And like, I didn't even look at the picture. I
Yeah,
just deleted the name and put the underscore back in and whatnot.
yeah.
But yeah, so they're both. Why do you want to get rid of the original?
Because I don't know how to switch. Well, I want to turn my underscore Christos into at Christos. So I'm trying to figure out how to deactivate the other one, but I can't. I don't know the passcode for the other one, so it
Oof.
won't let me deactivate it. I just want to get rid of that Christos to turn the an underscore one to be the main one, so it'll be
Okay.
easy for everybody.
Yeah,
But
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely
So
nice
in
to
terms
make
of my
things
social media, that's
easy.
that. Hmm.
But it
It's
sucks
my
when you.
identity.
Yeah, it sucks when you get locked out of your profile on Twitter specifically because it's really
Hmm.
hard to get it back. I had a buddy get locked out of his um Twitter and he could not get in for like what was it, like 2-3 months or something like that. And he was talking to the people over and over and over about how to get in, and they just, I don't know, they just made it hard for him. But anyways, fantastic. Good to know where you're from and whatnot and where to find you. But let's go on ahead and move on. I want to know what you've been up to, what games you've been playing, what's been happening, what's life like.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of different games lately. For those that know me, I mainly play PlayStation. I am a console peasant, so that's how I usually describe myself because I play all the consoles, I own them all, always have. The only console that I've skipped is like um, Xbox One in terms of the more current generations.
Hmm.
So lately I've been playing Crisis Core on PlayStation, Midnight Suns on PlayStation. There's no point in me telling you the consoles. Midnight Suns, um, Evil West, and I'm just coming off of having the time of my life playing Chained Echoes, which I recommend everybody to play. It's on everything.
What is it?
Amazing. It's an amazing one dev indie game. It plays exactly like a retro JRPG. Um, has a lot of heart from Chrono Trigger, the older Final Fantasies, specifically Final Fantasy 6 and Final Fantasy 12, and Xenogears. So it's a love letter to all of those games, but it's been modernized, and there's only one dev. I can't believe this one dev accomplished such an amazing JRPG that doesn't fall into typical JRPG tropes where it's too long, there's too much grinding, all of that nonsense. And he did it all himself. So it's on everything: Game Pass, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. So no reason not to play. Anyway, so I've been kind of I've just finished it, and I'm trying to fill that void of Chained Echoes. So I'm trying to fill it with some games that I've been using for my content creation. which are the games that I'd mentioned. And yeah, I've just been having fun with those and you know, doing YouTube at the same time. But that's me.
Gotcha. Yeah, and you did a stream, what was it, earlier today? That's right.
Yeah, yes. I did do a stream today because I recently accomplished a kind of a milestone, my first one. I reached my goal was 200, and I said that once I reached 200 subs on YouTube, I would do an Ask Me Anything. And a week prior to that, I released that NGL app where you can ask anonymous questions as well. So I got a bunch of people to ask me questions there, and I did a live AMA. And I did that. That was my stream this morning, and that was super fun. Like
Yeah, how'd that go?
I've never done. Yeah, it was really good. A lot of people showed up. I had some colorful questions that I had fun answering about gaming and about randomness. Um, it made me realize, like what we're doing right now, where we're just talking, interacting and engaging with people and talking to each other is actually just as fun as streaming and gaming at the same time. So kind of opened up my eyes to that kind of content and that kind of fun. So really looking forward to that. And I had so much fun with this morning's stream that I'm looking forward to doing something like that again.
Awesome. Yeah, I actually just did my first solo like stream without gaming myself this just yesterday, and man, it was nerve-wracking. It's not the same.
It is.
It's not the same as having like one other person at least in there just to kind of help catch your fall or like answer something, so there wasn't like that dead silence moment. But like,
yeah,
I found myself, I went back and rewatched my show that I literally just did yesterday, and I was just like, man, I'm in a rush. Like I I go to watch like Marlon and all these other people do like their like standalone shows where they're by themselves streaming, and sometimes it's like 3 hours long, and I'm just like, why was I like pushing it so much instead of just like kicking back, relaxing?
Yeah.
I feel like it's because like I feel like I need to hurry up and get like and like try to get like people's like minds going and moving and like thinking, and I almost think I actually like just kind of lose train of thought. So I need to just next time I decide to do it, I need to just slow down and kind of chill because it wasn't.
Yeah, no, totally. Oh, I mean, I revealed it really early on during this morning that streaming while playing a video game. Heck, I don't know if you've seen any of my stuff. I stream while squatting. I stream while going on my exercise bike. That's the content that I do focused on gaming and health. So I can do that, and that's a lot less nerve-wracking than what I did this morning. And I let them know that this is tough. It's tough. It's not easy to press go live and do something like that. It's a completely different atmosphere, but it was definitely a rush. It was fun. And then I realized later that, hey, these awesome people are tuning in to watch us because of our characteristics. So we should just be ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, I'm loving the conversation. You seem very, very warm and honest, and I love it. And I hope you guys that are tuning into the show, some of you guys that just got here, are either enjoying it or going to enjoy this fun conversation that we're about to have. Just a shout out to you guys real quick. I see a few people that popped in here, and that includes like Innate, Stankmaw, Dangerous Voice. What's cracking, you guys? And you see KRYSTOAST is also in the chat as well as on the show. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or whatnot for her, don't be scared to throw them up. We'll answer them as long as yeah. You do that digital dash right there. You can go and do that digital dab. That's cool. But just to kind of keep it moving, I am gonna dig in now to that background, because I told you
All right.
beforehand when you came here, that's what my show primarily starts out with, and then it kind of devolves into other or evolves into other questions and stuff like that. So just to get started, like, what really got you into gaming? What was the very like first console that you got to sink your teeth into, and like you had the opportunity regularly to go play it that was at your household?
The first console, like first real console, was probably the PlayStation 1 that I would
Wow.
say that really got me into gaming. However, um, I didn't start gaming until I was nearly in high school, only because um, I would I never had things bought for me, and I had to get it myself. So in high school, I got a job, so I got my PlayStation. But when I first came to Canada, when I was 10 years old, that was 97, release of Final Fantasy 7.
Wow.
Um, anyways, yeah, so my first console at 97 was actually a garage sale SNES, and it came with a Dragon Quest 1, I think a Mario game, as well as a Duck Hunter, Duck Hunter. Wow. Anyways, and it came with all that gun and all the knickknacks, cartridges, and the tricks to make it work because it's secondhand. It didn't work perfectly. But yes,
That's
PlayStation
nice of
One,
them to tell
however,
you
was
that it
my
didn't
first
work
one.
perfectly. That's nice of them to tell you
Yes.
that.
Well, yeah. And no, it was my mom who got it for me. They just came home one day and said like, "Hey, we bought you this because we're new to the country. We knew very little people, so it was very awesome of her to have given us something to entertain ourselves while we were at home. Didn't know English, so had fun reading a foreign language, playing Dragon Quest. So it's helped me learn English a little bit. Um, so yeah, I was 10, so grade 4 here in Canada. Uh, but again, my first console was the PlayStation 1. That allowed me to control what games I wanted to play. And I remember, even though I said that I didn't really have things bought for me, I remember one of my first great experiences with gaming was Tarzan and A Bug's Life. Those games were so awesome. That really cheesy platforming, and the fact that I knew Tarzan and I knew A Bug's Life at that time helped sell gaming to me. And then from there on, it grew into something more when I found out more about my games through my own, through what I could control myself.
Man,
Yeah.
wow, that's a lot to take in right there.
Yes.
That's a lot. That's pretty dope. I mean, I love hearing about these stories and where people come from because it's just so many different directions. In gaming is what I mean.
Mhm.
Like nobody has the same story unless they're like, with a brother or a sister or
Yeah.
whatnot. Then maybe they have the same story. But it seems like everybody has their own like different awesome way that they kind of figured out how to tap into games and whatnot. And
Mhm.
in fact, something that I'd like to do a lot more often here on this on this
Oh,
podcast.
you went away.
Oh, okay.
Did you go away? Oh, there you are.
I have you coming in through the wrong microphone, so I'm gonna change that real quick. There we go. All right, sweet. So, anyways, so one thing I wanted to do this year that I haven't been doing, that I didn't really do at all that much last year, that I really wanted to start doing that I forgot about, was just getting the chat and the people that are willing to ask questions in here to ask some stuff, so they can figure out,
Yeah, I see some
who.
questions though.
Exactly. So I really want to get you guys involved so you guys can figure out who you're hitting the subscribe button for, who you're following on Twitter and stuff like that, just so you can actually have some sort of sense um, of reach to this person, or some sort of at least an idea of who the hell you're looking at and whatnot. Some more clarity, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
but
ask me questions.
yeah, so Stinkma in the chat was asking, "Yo, Chris Toast, where are you originally from?" My man from Pittsburgh. He represents Pittsburgh hard. But he's kind of curious where you
Good
came
job,
from because you're
me.
learning English and everything like that.
Yeah. Well, I want to double back on what the heck representing Pittsburgh hard means, but let me answer your question first. So, I'm from the Philippines. I moved to the Philippines with my parents when I was 10.
Moved to Canada.
Oh my God, thank you. Moved to Canada when I was 10. I was corrected by my husband right
that
beside me.
was fantastic. I
Uh,
heard him too. He's like, "You moved to Canada." That
um,
was great.
moved to Canada from the Philippines when I was 10 years old. So that at this point, that's 20, almost 26 years ago. I have only been back since one time, and I no longer know how to speak the native tongue, which is Tagalog. I can understand a 10-year-old version of it, but that's about it. I am pretty much just a Canadian person now. Toronto, born and raised.
Pretty much at this point. If you don't
Yeah.
use it, you lose it, I guess. But we have another
Yep.
question coming through the chat. Doc Dark 1985. There's levels to this. What up, brother? He came through and so you already know. So he came through and said, can you ask her who games more, her or her husband? That's an interesting question. Putting her on the hot seat.
Oh. It depends on the year and what's happening.
On
So,
the entire year. Wow.
well, because we with PlayStation, because PlayStation is the best box, obviously.
Oh
Um,
Lord, here we go.
I'm just
Oh
trying to push Doc
no,
button.
Doc Dark, what?
Anyway,
You're mad now. I already know.
PlayStation has that recap thing, and my husband and I are always in competition on who's gaming, and he's saying, "Oh, you don't do anything because you have more hours into gaming, so and so like that, right?" Um, I'm on maternity leave because I have my 1-year-old, and here in Canada, we can have a maximum of 18 months. So this year,
Y'all
I have
living it
more,
up out
right?
there.
I have more game time this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have way more game time this year than he did because I'm on mat leave last year with a lot of, COVID closures. So he had a lot more gaming time and I was pregnant. So yeah, this year I played a lot more than he did.
Oh my God, Doc Dark over here. He's getting hot. But man, how in the heck can you say the PlayStation is the best station when the whole country of Canada is acting like, Xbox pretty much, have all these days off, free, get all these time off. I'm not sure if you've heard, but like Xbox supposedly had like some sort of thing go on where they can have like unlimited leave or something like that from work. I'm not sure how
Oh yeah,
true that all is or whatnot,
that
but I
sounds
just heard that and I was
unrealistic.
just like, that's exactly right. That sounds super unrealistic, but if it's true, I mean, that's a little insane to give game developers an entire year to just kind of do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Doc asking 18 months for what? 18 months for maternity leave because I am taking care of a human being.
Yeah. We get weeks over here, like maybe a few months of that. Y'all
I
get a
know, right?
whole.
We're so lucky. We live in Canada. That's what we get here in Canada.
Y'all pampered over there, living lavish. Jesus. But anyways, all right. So Nintendo was the very first console that you got into. You later
Mm,
on got into PlayStation and whatnot, and you said it was the original PlayStation. Is that right?
yes, the PlayStation 1. I played uh, Dino Crisis, the Disney games. I didn't actually get into RPGs until I saw my cousin playing Final Fantasy VII, and my cousin is very OCD when it comes to grinding. So all I saw him do was go in circles outside of Midgar, like beside Calm, and going in circles, just fighting enemies. And like, why are you doing that? That does not look fun at all. Why are you doing this? And then just sitting down with him, watching him play more after I forced him to stop going in circles. Um, I started seeing some of the gameplay, the story, and it really drew me in. And I started looking for more JRPGs for myself. And even I didn't actually play Final Fantasy VII then when I watched them because I was still confused why he was doing what he was doing. But I started borrowing some of his other games, and that's when I got into other JRPGs like um, Valkyrie Profile, um, Xenogears, Lunar's Silver Star Story Complete, and Lunar Eternal Blue. You like all of those classic 8-bit, 16-bit, I know nothing about that, bit games. I really love those. So I know a lot about PS1 and PlayStation 2 JRPGs back then than I would now because I had a lot more patience for it. But those are the games that I grew up loving.
All right, Doc Dark is down here shooting all sorts of shots into the chat. So
He's having a heart attack or something. What's happening?
he's living, but he was wondering how long men get maternity leave out there, or if
It would
fathers
be the
don't count in
same.
Canada too.
It would be the same. So the way
So
it works is actually the
wow,
reason why it's 18 months. The reason why it's 18 months, I get 3 months for like just base maternity for recovering my body. And then after that, um, employment insurance kicks in. I can apply for um, the rest of the 18 or just take a year. And I can divvy that up between maternity or paternity. It depends on like our own financial situation, who makes more. So my husband makes more than me, uh, so it would make sense for him to work and I get employment insurance, which that is a conversation you would have with your partner. You don't force that upon each other. This is what we agreed upon, and that's what we were happy with, and that's what we get. So it's not just like a whole mother father thing where fathers don't matter. It's more of just a financial thing and what works for each other. So guys can have it too. My sister actually did. She did. The 18 months is new. It's like 3 years old. With my older sister, she did 6 months maternity, 6 months paternity. So yeah.
interesting. Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. Y'all got a maid out there. Y'all doing all right. All right,
Yep,
cool.
we're
Well,
spoiled.
Doc Dark, I see that other question, but I'm going to get to that one here in a little bit after we get done with this part. So, just to continue on, so PlayStation and PlayStation 2, really big in JRPGs back then and whatnot. Going down the line a little bit further, once the Xbox 360, or actually let's go on ahead straight to the very original Xbox. Was the Xbox or GameCube really anything that you even touched at all during that time period?
Mm, Actually, I lied earlier. I said Xbox One was the only one I skipped. I think I also skipped the original Xbox. Um, when I was gaming at the time, I was still. When did Xbox come out?
2001.
What year? So I was just coming off of high school, I guess. Yes. And I was again, I would have to had bought it myself. So I only stuck with the one console, and so I skipped Xbox. So I don't really know what games I would have played there.
No, fair enough. How about the
It's very,
GameCube?
yeah.
GameCube skipped?
GameCube was a funny one. GameCube, I stole off of someone, and not stole, a family member. It was a sibling. And the funny thing about it was we didn't have everything that came with the GameCube. We didn't have like one of those memory cards thing. So I remember owning Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, but I didn't have um, a saving card, so that every time I played Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, I couldn't save my game, and so I didn't really I didn't really use it that much. It was just a box that stay there. I think, was there an Animal Crossing on the GameCube? I think there was an Animal Crossing on the GameCube.
I
Was
want to
that the
say
first
yeah,
one?
but I want to say yeah, but to be honest, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. If if I did use the GameCube, it would have probably been for my very first Animal Crossing, but I feel like my first Animal Crossing was on the Wii. Yeah. So I skipped much. I didn't do N64. Um I so yeah, it's SNES, NES, and then PlayStation 1, and then PlayStation 2. Yeah. And then I think I bought an Xbox 360 on the later on the latter lifespan of it.
Okay, so that kind of answers
Mm.
that next question for me. But I'm assuming you probably had a
Mhm.
PlayStation 3.
Yes. PlayStation 3.
Which one did you get first?
Um oh yeah, because Xbox came out first, didn't it? Xbox
Hmm.
360?
Yep.
I bought PlayStation 3 first and then Xbox 360 later. At this point, my my husband and I had been together for so long. So at that point, I had actually he had helped me complete my Xbox 360. I bought the base console without the HD in it, and then he gave me his HD. So yeah, so that was later in his life when he was willing to give me his HD.
Oh, nice. I
um,
mean, free memory, something you didn't have on the GameCube.
exactly, exactly. For some reason, I tend to buy consoles without a way to actually save video games in them. What a weirdo.
All right, so so some of the games on PS3 were dot dot dot.
Were God. Um, it's hard. It's the history with PlayStation for me has just been like random. It's hard for me to remember what was released on that console. Honestly, PlayStation 3 for me was probably um the least used. I could say one of my fondest memories would probably be like Activision's Guitar Hero and stuff like that.
Okay.
Is that when PlayStation 3 and I think
Yeah, PlayStation 3 was
Assassin's
out during
Creed
that. Yep.
2? Yeah,
Yep.
Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed 2,
Assassin's
I
Creed,
believe.
Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and yeah, yada yada. Those made its debut on like PlayStation 3 and Xbox
Hmm.
360. Guitar Hero, like and Guitar Hero and whatnot, was at the latter half of like the PlayStation
Yeah,
2 and like and all that stuff. But it was mainly on the 3 and the 360 for sure. For
yeah.
sure.
So that's when I was introduced to open world gaming. Really was PlayStation 3. I actually skipped a lot of the first. I actually skipped a lot of the first party PlayStation 3 games at that in that year. I believe like The Last of Us. I didn't play until PlayStation 5, to be honest. Um, I don't like Uncharted, so I didn't play any of that
What?
stuff then.
You don't like
Yeah,
that? You're the first person I
it,
ever met that
I
just
am a
straight up said
weird
that.
PlayStation person. I am a weird PlayStation person. I don't play Spider-Man. I don't play um Uncharted. I haven't played Death Stranding, Days Gone. Um, I only had just recently played The Last of Us since when PS5 came out.
I feel like I'm in the
So yeah,
Twilight
so
Zone right now. You're gonna
I'm
have
a
to give me
weird
a second.
PlayStation fan.
You're gonna have to give me a second. I'm confused. I mean, you
What?
just named a ton. You just named a ton of great first party titles. You're holding a Spider-Man pillow hiding your face, and you're gonna tell me that you don't mess with Spider-Man. You don't mess with Uncharted. You don't mess
This is
with
my
all
husband's
these.
pillow.
Your husband giving you that side eye right now, like what you doing?
He is actually.
What are you doing to our family?
You
No,
should,
but
if I turn my camera around, you will see two TVs, and right behind it is a bunch of um, plaques for DC Comics, Superman, and all that. It looks very superhero-y around me right now, and it's not me. It's his stuff.
all right. So keep
So
in mind, chat, keep in mind that you guys are more than welcome to ask questions as well. And speaking of that, Mr. Joanna Dark, what up, brother? Thank you for coming through this evening. Was asking if you like Knack.
I never played Knack.
Okay, there you go. So she has no idea. there you
Oh
go.
yeah, I love Infamous. I like Infamous. I've never played Killzone. Oh, the thing about me was I actually have motion sickness, really pretty bad motion sickness. So I've only just really started getting into first person gaming, or even third person was really iffy for me back then. That's why I've never played games like BioShock. I'm gonna play that 2023 for sure. Don't be appalled that I've never played BioShock. I'll get to it, I promise. Um, so I skipped a lot of first person gaming. Um, I don't know. Was Killzone first person? I don't remember, but I didn't play any of that stuff. I couldn't play shooters in general because uh, being able to pan the camera and my eyes following it was very tough for me. That's the reason why I guess I gravitated more to JRPGs, because it's a lot of it is a lot more simple with very little character and camera panning.
Okay, so I'm assuming that you're really loving the whole like higher frame rates and stuff like that are coming out, because I mean I kind of have some of that issue with certain games. One game that I had like that just made me nauseous playing it was God, what is that game called for Xbox? It was made by, I believe, Remedy, I want to say. Oh man, I can't remember it off the top of my head.
What's it about?
Mr. Joanna Dark Pry is gonna correct me, but yeah, I mean, it's about it's a game where you're like stopping time, and you got guns and you're shooting and stuff like that. I cannot remember it off the top of my head at all, and it's
Hmm.
freaking gonna drive me insane until somebody either says it or
I'm
I
picturing like
eventually look it up.
a green cover box. Hmm.
Well, it
Sounds
is on
familiar.
Xbox, so yeah, it's green.
Oh, I mean, just because it's an Xbox, I mean it's green. Come on.
Yeah, Quantum Break. Thank you,
Oh,
Jason.
yeah.
Thank you,
Oh wow, you
Jason.
got it. Way to go, Jason.
Yeah. He found my path and corrected it. Thank you so much. So yeah, Quantum Break. That game gave me motion sickness really bad for some reason, and I really want to play that game. I really like the actor that's in that game
Yeah.
as well. It seems fantastic, and it has these super dope Kojima like cutscenes that are like 40 minutes freaking
Right.
long and stuff like that.
That's
So
why
I
they have
mean,
a TV show.
exactly, and I really want to get into it, but it's just like every time I do, like I go to pan the camera, and then like all that motion blur going on, I'm just like, dude, I can't handle this right now. So make
Yeah.
60 FPS
Yeah.
patch for that, and I'm on it, and I'll beat the living crap out of it because I was enjoying what I was playing. It was just making me not feel so good. But
Yeah.
anyways, so back to the back to the chat real quick. What's up, Jason? By the way, thank you for coming through. I see General Spartan up in here. The original Next Level Gaming. What is up? He says, "What's up, Ham? What's up, everybody?" But yeah.
Was
Yeah, motion sickness is something. The new FPS thing, super duper dope. I always
yeah.
play my games with higher frames.
I'm
I never
spoiled
play on
now.
fidelity.
Yeah, I'm spoiled now. It's like going back to older games, even though I had already played them and were able to get used to them, I can't play them anymore. It's just too jarring, and I feel like it's a first world problem. But that's okay. That's what gaming is.
I'm the opposite. I play a ton of old games. Like I said, it's just very select games that get my motion sickness going. But for the most part, like, I love my old games. I got, my old Sega Genesis, N64, Saturn, PS2, 3DO, Xbox, GameCube, Dreamcast, 360, PS3. I got a ton of old stuff that I absolutely enjoy playing. I need to holler at you, NLG, for those up-res devices that, I'm sure I can go on YouTube and look it up, but I like to talk to somebody that's excited about it, that's going to sell me the product. You know what I'm saying? And to the point where I'm just like, take my money. I don't really want to look up all that stuff. Word of mouth is my way of buying stuff for the most part. But anyways, so after the PS3 and 360 generation, I'm kind of curious, which one would you say you played more of? Because you said the PS3 was the most lackluster generation for you.
Yeah.
But you had a 360 later on in the generation. So I'm thinking you probably played more of the PlayStation just because you had it longer. But did you, was it a competition?
Played it. Yeah, Xbox 360 was kind of more my jam during that generation, only because it had a lot of Western Western RPGs that I didn't really experience much on PlayStation. So that's when I really got into like Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2.
Wow.
Oblivion, Morrowind, Jade Empire. That was a good one. And those were really, really time-consuming, really good games to have on Xbox. And come on, Xbox, get me more of those RPGs, and I will play you. So yes.
yeah. No, you probably cannot. Stink Mall kind of said it in the chat just now. He said GOAT level. Those are some fantastic games. For your first experience onto the Xbox platform, that had to be kind of overwhelming, seeing like, oh man, there's all these freaking games over here that I missed.
Right?
Yeah. Because you're getting this later in the generation. You didn't get it at the beginning where you had to struggle. You didn't get it at the very beginning where it was like, but continue what we were saying.
Stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Red light stuff. Yeah, that didn't happen to me. But
very
the
unattractive.
Mass Effect, I forgot about that. Mass Effect 1 and... No, actually, I didn't play much of Mass Effect 1. I kind of just started with Mass Effect 2. But I was, again, at first, I was hesitant to play it because it was a little bit kind of... Was it first person? No, third person. I forget now. Anyways, I was afraid that I was afraid it would trigger my motion sickness, but it didn't, oddly enough. But even if it did, sometimes some games are worth getting a headache over, and Mass Effect 2 was one of those games that I experienced on Xbox.
She said, "Let's go. I don't
care."
Very,
very happy. Yep. Honestly, I do it still. Like, I would still definitely force myself to play video games, get a headache, take a nap, get back right into it, because sometimes, just like what some ladies say about fashion and beauty, you gotta suffer for it, for the things that you love, and I love gaming.
Oh man, I love the way you put that right there. You gotta suffer sometimes for the things that you love. Absolutely. But I will be getting back to your question, Doc Dark. I didn't forget about that Xbox question that you had. But hello, Crazy Louie. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming through. What up, brother? Hope you're having a good evening. Fantastic show that you guys put on Xbox International Podcast with you, Silent Cypher, and Sour Blow yesterday. So I just wanted to shout you guys out real quick, let you guys know that he has a pretty dope podcast every Wednesday. I think it's like 5 or 6 p.m. I don't remember the exact time. I just hit check their Twitter page and usually click the link, but I actually hit the bell. So from now on, I'm going to see exactly when they're going live. And same with you, KRYSTOAST. I already did that for you as well. So the very next time you go live, I'm going to see it right away. I'm gonna pop up, I'm gonna pull up, and I'm gonna say what's up real quick.
Do that. Everybody do it right now.
Absolutely. And if you're not subscribed here, this is your chance to go on ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you guys enjoy what you're watching right now, go on ahead and hit that like button. It means the world to me. I'm trying to do my best to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm almost about halfway there, about 451 right now. So I'm hoping to get a little bit higher and higher and higher throughout the year. And I definitely want to collaborate with a lot of the people that are in the chat right now, because there are some fantastic people out here coming to spend some time with Ham Solo and KRYSTOAST tonight. So I appreciate all of you guys, and I just wanted to shout that out real quick. But moving on, now we got the PS4, Xbox One. You told me that you had the Xbox One. I'm guessing the 360.
That's the one I
you got that. You got that mixed up with the 360.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't have an Xbox One.
No, I didn't need a media player. I'm triggered. I said that in order to... Wait, you went away again. Did I go away or did you go away?
No.
Who went away?
I didn't go away at all.
Oh, there we go. Oh, maybe I went away. Yeah, so I skipped the Xbox One because I didn't want a media player.
Can you stop saying that? You gotta stop saying that. Someone find me the bleep button.
I enjoy sharing games when, you know, I could just go like this with PlayStation 4, right? So that's way easier.
You being disrespectful.
No. I'm just playing. At this point in this whole gaming nonsense, I still didn't care about all of the console war stuff. I didn't know anything about it. So I'm only just parroting what other people are making fun of now, and I'm making fun of them. Anyways, yeah, honestly, I looked at the catalog at what Xbox had to offer for me as a gamer, and knowing that PlayStation 4 had poopy backwards compatibility, so I knew that getting a PlayStation 4, I would still need a PlayStation 3 and all of its previous iterations for me to be able to play with it. But even so, my history was with Sony, and I guess at that point I'd already built brand loyalty, and that's with PlayStation. And I know
Dark said you're about to gallop away.
Giddy up. Damn, I wish I had a horse in here right now. That would be epic. Anyways, I'm honest. I'm honest with myself. I think it's super sus for people who say they're neutral and ooh, I have all the games. I play all of them. Everybody has a preference. Everybody has a bias. And even while I have all of the consoles, my preference is playing my PlayStation.
Oh my goodness, Dark in here.
Anyways, with PlayStation 4, yeah.
So, but and then Mr. Joanna Dark throwing the smoke right back. He said, "At least we didn't have to pay for director's cut."
Oh, director's cut.
but he also had another question earlier. He is asking if you ever played Metal Gear or got into any of those games.
Oh yeah, I did play Metal Gear 2, no, Metal Gear 1 and 2, and I skipped Snake Eater. That game was so gosh darn hard. I got through like the first forest stage, and I couldn't get past any more than that. So I stopped playing Metal Gear and just decided to watch videos of other people playing those games, and because it's a Kojima game, which means it's a movie game anyways, right?
Yeah, exactly. Dark, you gotta stop, man. You're killing me in the chat right now. He went on and said she is the only pony that I can't believe is actually a pony, but her husband is a bot for sure. I know it.
Yeah, no. Why don't you think I'm a no? Well, just because I like PlayStation doesn't mean I'm a pony.
Oh
I
man,
have to
he's
rein
just giving
in
you a
my
hard time.
husband as a pony. He's the giantest pony I know.
Fantastic. Oh
He
my
introduced
goodness.
me to King Crab.
I need to turn on the fan. There's way too much smoke up in here right now. Y'all need to calm down. Y'all need to calm down and relax. But anyways, Mr. Joanna Dark says no Kojima slander at all. So
Sorry.
it is what it is, Mr. Joanna Dark. Just deal with it. Let's move on. All right, so PlayStation 4 was cool
Yeah, I
for
played
you.
PlayStation 4. Was cool. What standout games? Well, I didn't actually get PlayStation 4 right away because I remember at the time, um, it was hard to get. I didn't get it day one, so I kept procrastinating on getting it until it had a game I was interested in. But I don't know what game was that. Like it's hard. I feel
Do you
I
like
feel
God of
like for
War?
me to oh my God, I am the worst PlayStation gamer. I do not like the original God of War. I didn't play any of them.
The original
I
or
hate
like 2018 or like the
Well, I
newest
like the
one?
2018. I like the 2018 ones because of the story and the gameplay changes. I'm not a big hack and slash person. So with the original God of War, I had only watched my husband play it so that I can experience um, all of the story
Oh
in the
man.
mythology, but I did not want to play any of it at all. But with the 2018 with Norse mythology, that was way more interesting for me, and the gameplay felt more fun to play as well.
Are you going to be playing Ragnarok?
Ragnarok Game of the Year.
Oh, well, I mean, that conversation's over already. It's not.
I know. But actually, Chained Echoes is my Game of the Year, anyways. Chained Echoes is my Game of the Year. It's when I finished Chained Echoes, I was like, Ragnarok was up here, and then Chained Echoes just smacked it out of the way. It was
Ugh.
that good.
But so you said you like JRPGs. Mr. Joanna Dark's wondering
Yeah.
about Persona 5.
Yeah, I played Persona 5 on PlayStation 4. I played all of the Personas actually, and a lot of the Shin Megami Tensei games over the years, like Digital Devil Saga, the regular SMTs, Nocturne, all that stuff. I did play all of those.
Okay. So now the question for me
Mm.
that is kind of that kind of lit up just a moment ago was like,
Mm.
what got you? I mean, if you skipped the media player, right? What made you come back to Xbox now, or are you just playing Xbox games on PC?
Oh no, I have an Xbox Series S and X. I have
Oh
two.
wow, double
Um,
down.
yeah, I bought the Series
Welcome
S
home.
first. Well, no,
Welcome home.
actually, my pony husband bought them for me. He bought me the Xbox Series S at first, and then
Well, tell your
a
husband he
lot of the
invited to the
news.
cookout. Tell him he invited to the cookout. Come on over.
You're invited to the cookout. He said, oh boy. Um, yeah, so he bought me the Xbox Series S because as an RPG gamer, I could not miss any Bethesda games. So it is what it is, right? So I came over to Xbox with the promise of Bethesda games. So I'm looking forward to those. And then after hearing, we're mostly a digital gamer. We don't buy any physical. But even so, we felt that if we were gonna experience Xbox, their generation at its best, we might as well get the best box, which is the Xbox Series X. Um,
Oh.
See, I play
Oh.
both sides. However, don't get your hopes up.
Oh, my hopes are high.
I may own the Xbox Series S and X. I have yet to play with them because there's no RPGs for me that I can't play on my PlayStation, and
Fair.
I just prefer my PlayStation better.
I think that's
You
fair.
know?
I mean, like if that's your
Yeah.
type of genre and like that's the reason. I mean, I'm guessing like the JRPGs, RPGs, whatever, that will be your entry point into Xbox. And seeing that
Yes.
they got Bethesda, you have to
Mhm.
be a little thirsty. I ain't kidding. Like,
I bought it. I bought it. I don't even have the game yet, and I bought the console, so I'm excited. I go where the games are.
Okay. Now, out of my curiosity, this wasn't from the chat. I'm curious, did you get into like Skyrim back in the day?
Yes, absolutely. I own 4 versions of Skyrim. It was actually one of the few PC games I played with my really, really short stint as a PC gamer. So I owned Skyrim on PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Skyrim is that old, guys.
Yeah. PS3, yep.
PlayStation 3. I moved on to PC, and then I bought it again on PlayStation 4. We own the PlayStation 5's fancy-ish edition.
Yeah, I just rebought the.
And I skipped the VR because again, motion sickness. I was
Right.
afraid to get PSVR, so I skipped that. But yeah, Skyrim. We have lots and lots of hours sunk into that game. So
So you're loving it. I mean,
Fallout.
you got four versions of that game, so you're loving it.
Yeah. So and I played all the Fallouts. Well, Bethesda Fallouts. I mean, I love the Outer Worlds, and I'm looking forward for the Outer Worlds 2. So that's going to be very good. Avowed, once we finally have more information on it, that would be amazing. I'm actually slightly curious about Redfall, especially now I'm learning that there's a lot more RPG elements into it. Yeah, so I really need to get some release dates for me to start really salivating on what Xbox has to offer. I've got Game Pass. So I'm already the perfect Xbox candidate, you know?
Got it. That's what's up. So you got a lot to look forward to. Really cool stuff going on right there. But as for this generation, how would you kind of put it in the nutshell on like what your expectations are for like each of the consoles? So, but before you answer that question, let me ask you first, do you own any Nintendos?
Oh yeah, I own the Switch. I owned both the Wii and the Wii U. I bought games for them, but I never played them. The only time I would ever touch those consoles was for Pokemon and Animal Crossing.
You're honest.
Not so much, maybe like Mario Kart. And I specifically bought the Switch when it kind of first came out because that's when I first got pregnant. Um, I was secluded a lot in my daughter's bedroom, and my husband felt bad that I wasn't able to play a lot of video games because we didn't back then, I guess, we didn't really have a real mobile way to play video games. And with the Switch, he bought that for me as a gift so that I can uh, play that while spending time with my daughter in her bedroom for bedtime, feeding, and all that nonsense. So that's when I use the Switch the most. But in terms of me actually using it on my own time, if I wasn't forced to, if I had the option, I wouldn't touch it. Except I spent a lot of time on Animal Crossing to a pretty unhealthy amount, probably on the obsessive level. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Animal Crossing at all, but they have a very heavy Discord server where you buy and sell your Animal Crossing items, and I was like all into that. I love being a shopkeeper. I sold stuff. Uh, they even had like a Nookazon where people would order certain items on an Amazon type system, and you would meet with on their islands, and I was all into that. I spent like I don't want to tell my husband how much time I spent, but he didn't see me very often when it first came out. Let's say like 2,500 hours approximately, maybe more. But yeah,
Maniac.
that's my Twitch. Maniac. I know I'm ashamed. I need an Ace Animal Crossing Anonymous at that time. It was unhealthy.
Animal Crossing Anonymous ACA. Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. All right. So Mr. Joanna Dark kind of stole my next question, which is totally fine because I love when people ask questions in the chat. It's fantastic. But did you ever think about getting into Xenoblade since you got a Switch and you're, you know?
I can't get into Xenoblade. I tried. I owned 1 and 2 on the the Wii or Wii U generation, I forget, or both even. I bought both of them. But again, like I said earlier, I bought the games, but I couldn't get into it. I couldn't play it. I like the idea of the Wii U especially because I was so amazed when Xenoblade came out and I could just pick it up and lay down on my couch and play it. But then that's as far as I got. I just couldn't get into the battle system. It was too. I apologize for the Xenoblade um hate per se, but again, I'm just being honest with what kind of games that I want to play because I'm not going to force myself to play games I don't want to. I respect myself too much for that. And I just couldn't play Xenoblade. I couldn't get into it. I apologize. I gave it a shot. I owned them. I gave them their time. But knowing what I know about Xenoblade 1 and 2, I skipped Xenoblade 3. I don't know if I will ever buy it because Nintendo first party tends to never go on sale.
Yeah, that's a fact. Kay Asante was referring
Sorry,
to the
Joanna
last
Dark.
right. Was referring to the last thing that we were talking about when he says, "This is why I stay away from Animal Crossing." I know the
Yep,
mobster
smart,
known as
smart.
Tom Nook.
Yep. Oh yes, Tom Nook. He is
Thug.
my master. He is my master.
Oh my goodness. All right. So as for
Oh, Joanna Dark's asked a few more questions.
go ahead.
Oh yeah. You can't play Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey on PlayStation. Yes, I played those as well. Those were amazing games. Again, Lost Odyssey is not on Game Pass. I am pissed at that. Why is Lost Odyssey not on Game Pass?
Well, there you go, Mr. Joanna Dark. She asked you a question right back. So deal with that. Deal with that, brother.
I
But
wanted to
anyways,
replay it. I booted up my Xbox. I got my Game Pass, and I was like, oh, I see. I see the Fables. I see all that. Oh yes, Fable. I played Fable. Yes.
Fable's
So
fantastic.
many good, WRPGs on that generation. So good. Shit. What was I gonna say?
Looks
Yeah.
like we're gonna have a
So
comeback of that, though. Looks like we're gonna have a comeback of a bunch of Western JRPGs coming out. There's already talks about Outer Worlds 2. You know, that crazy ass commercial that
yeah,
they had at the E3 the year prior, I
it was
believe.
just a
And
title card. It was
yeah, it was
nonsense. It
hilarious.
was pointless. Like they don't even have Avowed yet, and they're talking about Outer Worlds too. Come on.
But yeah. Avowed, and I seen something about Avowed in some news. I don't remember where I seen it specifically. Maybe it was Miles Dompierre or something like that. I don't remember, but they're
Mm,
talking about Avowed possibly having co-op in it,
weird.
which would be
I don't know if I'll get my
insane.
husband to be able to play with me though,
That
because
sounds
he hates
insane, but
my Xbox.
I still need to know what the hell that game is, though. To be honest.
Yeah, it's all we have is that it's that hand doing like arcane magic, and that's pretty much it.
I
There's
feel
really
like
not much else to
Xbox.
go on.
I feel like Xbox is doing great in that direction. If you want to see a game and have no idea what it is, here you go.
Exactly. Exactly. They keep you at the edge of your seat, and then you're stuck there for life until you know they're you're at their whim because you're just waiting for games. I mean, I know this horrible conversation that goes on Twitter about um, Xbox lacking games, but obviously they mean first party. But for me, I can speak to for my own experience as a person who has always played PlayStation, and I get this news like, oh shit, WRPGs going to Xbox. I won't be able to play them on my PlayStation. I better get in on that. So I bought my Xbox, and I've had it for a year. I bought it late, obviously. I didn't get it day one. Um, I have it, and all I have to play, all I've been using it for. I apologize again if this upsets some people. I use it as like a demo machine. Like I play games on Game Pass, and if I like it, I'll buy it on PlayStation. Only because with my content creation, being a console gamer with no PC and a capture card, I stream off of my PlayStation and I use YouTube. I don't use Twitch. So if I really like a game and I want to share my experiences with everybody else, I have to play it on PlayStation. So Xbox needs to get in on their whole um, release dates, setting proper expectations. So don't show us anything. Like it's nice to hear that Bethesda's planning an Elder Scrolls 6, but that's like next generation. There's no way they're gonna get Elder Scrolls 6 out when they don't have Starfield out, and Fable and all that stuff. Wait, I'm mixing up my developers. Anyways,
You mean Fallout,
scratch that. So
whatever.
yeah, yeah. So set proper expectations. Don't show us too much until you're ready to show some release dates or gameplay, because your fan base will just get mad at you. Communicate properly. Don't focus so much on Twitter, social media, trying to be funny, trying to be like the cool kids and just talk about gaming. And let me connect to YouTube so I can stream off of YouTube. The fact
Oh
that you
man,
can
you said what I was thinking right there. I was just like, good
yes,
lord, they need to have they need to have a partnership with YouTube to where they can
they
allow
really,
people to
really
stream straight
need.
off of their consoles, because I don't like Twitch. I mean, like,
Yeah,
well, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I'd rather not use it because all of my stuff's on YouTube, and
exactly.
I don't want to deal with two things at once. I don't mind, like,
Hmm.
once I get more things set up here, maybe I'll do like a restream where I'm streaming on here and on Twitch at the same time. But
Right.
but YouTube is the home of my content, and I don't, and
Hmm.
I'd really like to just turn on my Xbox, and if I don't feel like being on camera, or even if I do feel like being on camera, I can plug one into my Xbox and it will work. It works on Twitch. So
Hmm.
why can't we get all this stuff for YouTube? I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that's really my wish for this generation for Xbox, is just get that first party gaming what in where they promised us. Because again, I haven't really used my Xbox. The only game that I've really played from beginning to end since having my series was Tinykin. Very good game. I found out that there wasn't really much of a difference between the Xbox version and the PlayStation version. Like there's no DualSense implementation, so I didn't care about buying it. So I played the whole way through on Xbox, and it's a very, very good game. I would highly recommend it. It's like Pikmin or Lemmings,
It is. You like
um,
slide on soap and
mixed
stuff like
with
that, right?
yeah,
I
and
played
mixed
it.
with shoot, what was last year's game of the year?
Oh,
What was that?
you're talking about the
It
game by
Takes Two.
Hazelight. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
It
takes
Takes
two.
Two. Yeah, so it's like Pikmin mixed with It Takes Two. Super good. So anybody who hasn't played that in the chat, anybody watching, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, Tinykin's dope. It's chill. It doesn't rush you to do stuff. It's kind of like
Hmm.
you get to the level and it just opens up and you got to release all these get all these minions and stuff like that.
And it's beautiful.
It's cool. It's definitely a
Yeah,
pretty
it's a
cool
beautiful
game.
game.
But you were
Hmm.
just talking about your content creation. And I actually want to segue straight into that right now. So the first thing I'm going to ask you on that, or actually, I got to double back real quick and ask that question that Doc Dark had earlier, and he was wondering what your favorite Xbox game was.
Ooh, my favorite Xbox game would have to be Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Okay, KOTOR 2.
Yep.
Got it.
It would
All
have
right.
to be that because um I don't play Halo or Halo, Gears, and Forza. I don't play racing games. I don't play shooter games that often. Um, so I don't have those staple games. So as soon as like what is considered an Xbox game? It would have to be an exclusive, I'm assuming, right? So I guess Mass Effect 2 would be the only one. I don't think that came out on PlayStation until it did. I don't know, but let's just say Mass Effect 2.
You got
Mass
Fable
Effect.
as well.
Oh, Fable. I like Mass Effect 2 more, but Fable 1 and 2 were pretty darn good. I love the a lot of the gameplay elements. So maybe Fable might be good too. I didn't like Blue Dragon or Lost Odyssey enough to consider it a favorite as well. I feel that it's not in my it's not in one of my top JRPGs for me to consider it a favorite. One thing that some people may know about me is I hate talking about favorites only because not hate, I dislike talking about favorites because my memory I feel bad forgetting about games that I played by forgetting to consider them as my favorite. Um but yeah, see like I forgot about Fable, right? But Fable is definitely a good one. But Mass Effect 2 I think would is what I would say is my favorite one for Xbox.
Okay. Got it. All right. So yeah, moving forward into like the content creation side of what you do, I'm really interested in like what got you into doing that? Like why did you just start to make content on YouTube? What like what pushed you to do it?
So it all started on Twitter, actually. I joined Twitter March last year, being being pretty huge introvert. I don't really go out very often. I don't show my face very often to anybody. I don't take pictures of myself. I find myself pretty what's the word? Unphotogenic. I had very low confidence. So Twitter really gave me the confidence. I was fortunate enough to have had really good interactions with people. I know a lot of people may see Twitter as toxic, but what I always tell everybody is that you can control you, you can't control other people. So if you control the people you interact with, then you will have a good experience. So I had a good experience. I was fortunate. I started showing my picture on my profile page, for example. So that was the first step. I had good conversations with other gamers because I didn't really have that conversation with other gamers besides my husband. And that got me into thinking, okay, maybe other people might be interested on my experiences with gaming. And I think that, and share my thoughts about gaming as well. So I started streaming just randomly, not showing my face, not even showing my voice not even hearing my voice very much. So that was maybe like 5 months ago until recently I found my niche. Let's my niche, which is focusing on health and gaming, which is at about 3 or 4 months ago. Anyways, I started because I just wanted to do something and with content creation and for personal growth. Personal growth more because I wanted to put myself out there in a social manner, interact with other people because being on maternity leave, it's really bad for mental health, not being able to interact, even though I'm an introvert. I purposely put myself in situations that are difficult in order to make myself grow. So this is a personal growth for me. I'm very thankful that not only not only are people supporting me, they're also encouraging my growth by watching. So I'm very appreciative.
A really interesting question I just kind of formulated in my head just now is like, as somebody that's such an introvert as yourself, because I'm an extrovert, I'm extra loud. I'm always down to meet people. My mom told me when I was young and a kid, I used to, whenever she'd take me to the mall as a little kid, I thought any kid that I ran into was, oh, hey, hi, friend. And my daughter is the same. And
Oh, that's awesome.
it drives me up the freaking wall. It sounds cute until you see your kid doing it and you're like, oh, so that's what that's like. It's not always fun because then it gets hard to
Yeah.
leave. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's time to go. No,
Yeah.
I want to keep playing and all this other jazz and whatnot. So that gets super frustrating. But like, I'm an extrovert. So getting into like the podcasting stuff, like I'm doing now, is it wasn't super hard. It's still nerve wracking. But I gotta know somebody that's like an introvert like yourself. Like, how the hell did you like feel when you first turned on that camera or first turned on that stream and you had to, start interacting? And when you're very first starting to do these podcasts and stuff like that, especially if you're going live, you're like talking to nobody, essentially, right? So how did you feel knowing that people were like, coming in and out and you'd have to kind of maintain some sort of momentum?
So there's I am an introvert when it comes to talking to other people that I'm not comfortable with. I prefer to not put myself in situations where I have to talk to people, but I do value personal growth a lot. Um, so like for example, I put my job when I am back at work is customer service. And it's at customer service now because when I first got a job, I forced myself to do a job that would try and take me out of my bubble. My first job was Blockbuster, and I don't know if you guys have ever experienced anything with Blockbuster Video. We say hello
Fantastic.
to everybody. We talk to everybody, and I think honestly the reason why I got hired back then was when they asked me like why do you want this job, and I told them, you know, I need practice talking to people. So that's what I did. And when it comes to content creation and trying to keep that momentum, like you said, um, again, it's for personal growth. I gained the confidence through Twitter because people encouraging me to do it. But in the end, I'm the one doing it. So I had to get confidence myself. So luckily, I am actually a pretty goofy person when you get to know me. And I actually talk to myself a lot when I play video games. So the transition to um, talking to myself while gaming and forcing other people to talk, forcing other people to listen to me talk while gaming was kind of actually easy. It was just more, I just had to do it more and I just had to think about it more. But I kind of was already doing it myself to begin with. Um, but I just got to tell anybody who is interested in doing something like this and they're kind of antisocial or introverted, pressing that live go live button is does not get any easier, even if you've done it a lot of times, because even if I seem relatively comfortable talking to you right now, like you can't see it, but I do have like goosebumps. I feel flushed. My butt's clenched. So it's not easy. It's not easy, and I commend anybody who does this. I commend what you're doing, interviewing people. I saying yes to you doing this interview. My dog's running back and forth. Can you not play fetch right now? um, saying yes to you to this interview was a huge deal for me because having this one-on-one conversation is a part of a personal growth because I've never done it before. The old me would have been like, no, I don't want to because I'm scared. But you have to want to do this in order to do it. And if you're not having fun, you can't do it. So um I don't know. It's just 2022 was a huge year for me. I don't know what really sparked it. Uh there was a lot of personal growth that I wanted. I wanted to exercise and I wanted to play video games and I wanted to talk about them. So why not merge gaming and exercising at the same time? So heck, why not stream myself gaming and biking at the same time? I'm sure some people will be interested in that.
Got the
So
trifecta going on.
that's how
Jeez
that happened.
Louise.
Hmm?
I said you got the trifecta going on. Yeah, 3 things going
Yeah.
at once: streaming, gaming, and biking. That's I mean, that's
Yeah,
a
if
wild
anybody's
combo.
interested on how I pull that off, if anyone's interested on how I pull that off, one of my first full game that I streamed while biking is A Plague's Tale Requiem. I played that from beginning to end.
Wow, what? That's a
Biking
fantastic
and streaming.
story too. Oh
Hmm.
man, was there some times where the
Biking is the
story
one
was so
detail.
grand that you just had to stop biking for a second?
No, honestly, that's when I pedaled the most, was when it got intense. There's a lot of mentality going through biking and streaming at the same time because you're fighting with your body, sorry, with your brain telling you to stop because you're tired, but at the same time, you want to play video games. So you actually want it to be intense all the time so that it takes your mind off of being tired. So my favorite part with A Plague's Tale Requiem was the moments where you're getting chased by rats or you're getting chased by enemies. When Anisha's running, I'm running.
You're biking hard at that moment. You were going.
Yeah. It's like if I bike past her, she goes faster. And the moments where I start feeling tired is when I'm getting frustrated with a puzzle or I'm dying often because it's ruining the immersion. I'm getting taken out of my mind is being taken away from gaming, and it's reminding me that, oh man, I'm tired. My butt hurts from the bike seat. So it's really interesting thinking about, okay, what games can I play on the bike and what games can I play on the bike and stream at the same time. So it's been really interesting so far. The series that I'm doing on the bike right now is Evil West.
Oh, nice! Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting. That's interesting. I definitely got to check that out. You doing some Evil West and biking at the same time? That just sounds freaking wild. Freaking wild.
If I can talk about the other ideas that oh sorry, the other ideas that I had to kind of encourage engagement on my streams. It's still a work in progress, but I'm playing Crisis Core, and I have a series. It's my series where every time somebody says, I don't know if you guys play Crisis Core, but um, Zach Zach Fair does a lot of squats, so that gave me an idea. Like, oh, I can do squats. Um, so every time somebody says hello for the first time on chat, I do 10 squats. So that's my squat and game series.
And you got workout mixed with gaming, real tight going on right there. I need to take some advice
Yeah.
from you. Maybe start working out while I'm gaming and streaming and stuff like that. I don't know, but I definitely need to do some working out though. I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. But anyways, I want to know now, like, with all of that we just got done talking about, we talked about your past. So obviously the Nintendo, just to kind of give you guys a recap, she is big into Nintendo, got into the PlayStation 2, got into the GameCube without a memory card, which is nuts. Then she got into the PS3, later on got the Xbox, so it's kind of backwards than a lot of people went. A lot of people got the Xbox first and then later on got the PlayStation. So you're a little backwards on that, but that's cool. That's just the way that you did your thing. Then you ended up with the PS4, and now you got the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, both of them, Series X and Series S. Did I do good?
Yeah. Yep. My husband and I don't like to share, so we have two PS5s. Um, we have two PS5s and both series consoles. Yeah.
Yeah, dang. That's what's up. That's what's up. I actually had to do the same thing with I got my wife the Series S because she was trying to play on mine all the time, and I was like, I can't be having that. So I got her the Series S, and she also plays on my PC quite a bit as well. She's a Halo fanatic. Plays that game every night. I forgot to pack the HDMI cord and the power cord. She left town for the last like 4 days for work, and I forgot to pack those, and I heard about it. About it because now she can't play Halo when she's 3 hours away, and she's like, all I want to do is relax when I get back to the hotel and play Halo. And
you done goof.
I fucked up. I fucked up big time. But anyways, the chat is saying that you're doing fantastic. Fuck them goosebumps is pretty much what they're saying. You got Kay Asante here saying you're doing great. No need for the nerves. Dre Watson comes through and says you're doing an awesome job. So I mean, I think you're doing fantastic as well.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm having fun.
At this point, I would like you to insert toast. Let's go. You got to do it. And I need you. And with that being said, I need you to shout out some people that really helped you be who you are today. So, and I mean, like, whether it's in the gaming space or whatever, just somebody that like people in your life that really help bring forward and get you out of like some stuck or sticky situations.
Okay. So, it would mostly be my husband and my family. He is my gaming partner for life. That's basically when I started gaming, he's already been there. I don't even remember gaming without him. For those late in the chat, we've been together for almost 20 years. So that's most of my life. So in terms of getting to where I am now, besides my husband, it would be a lot of Twitter people, and some of the standout ones that really pushed me to do what I'm doing. I would say Drag. I'm just going to say the names. I will let them know that I said them so that they feel happy about it. So Drag, K-Med, he was probably one of the first person that kind of encouraged me to even show my picture on my profile page. That was back when I couldn't do that before, so that was very, very early on. Innate, he's my JRPG buddy. 2099 Gaming, he is a Twitch gamer. He's on there as well. But yeah, those guys are definitely. Oh, and I can't forget my best buddy Shaki. He is just basically the most wholesome person that you will ever meet on Twitter. So he is only just one person. He puts 110% with every interaction that he has with you. So so if you get him, you will love him forever. But yes, those are my buds.
Those are the shout outs.
Yep.
Awesome.
And shout out to Ham Solo for doing this for the gaming community, and talking about gaming, talking about the history of some of the awesome gamers that we have, because it's not just about the devs, it's not just about the gaming personalities, the popular ones. There's also the little people, just doing everyday gaming, and everybody has their stories on. Like you said, everybody's origin story is different when it comes to gaming, and some people gaming have really saved their lives, literally, emotionally and mentally. So you're doing a really good job in order to kind of voice that out, and let other people know that, man, the tough time I'm having, the experience that I've had with gaming was just not it's not just mine, it's other people's too. So it gives that sense of camaraderie, even though they're not voicing it in chat. Um, Seeing other people doing it, seeing other people that has experienced the same as them, means a lot. So um, opening up this kind of conversation between people is really an amazing thing. So I really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you.
I really appreciate that. That
Can
you
you
said
hear
that on my
me
show.
okay?
That's awesome.
Can you hear me okay? Because my headset
Oh,
is
yeah,
in
yeah, I hear you
my
fine.
throat.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Okay,
little bit
perfect.
more bass now, but it still sounds good. I can still clearly hear you. And Dre Watson said facts, big facts in the chat, so he's definitely hearing you loud and clear. But yeah, sounds good. I mean, you can take that off now if you want to. It doesn't matter. But if you want to leave it on,
Yeah, because
by
I've
all
been
means.
told, does it look more like a bread? Does it look toasted? I was told that it doesn't look toasted.
I think it reminds me of that cereal way back in the day that you used to get,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Toasted
it
Crunch cereal or something like that.
yeah, it was like
Toasted Crunch?
I don't remember what it was like. It was like French Toast Crunch, I think it was called, or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I almost bought it yesterday, actually, just because it reminded me something triggered. It must have been this hat then.
Probably. That's fantastic though. I love the hat. It goes with your name perfect. Super
Yes,
perfect.
and I got my toast guy here as well.
Oh man, that's cute. Little guy. But all right, so shout outs are on and or were fantastic. Thanks for taking your time out to do that. Thanks for shouting me out as part of that as well. Totally didn't have to do that, but much appreciated, absolutely. But now I'm kind of curious. I have questions that kind of go on into the future a little bit because we've tackled a lot of your past now. So let's go on ahead and tackle the rest of the stream talking about some of the future stuff. There'll still be some past stuff, but it will have to do with a little bit of the future. All right. So
Sounds good.
so I want to know, what is a genre in games that you just refuse to play? Like something that you'll like the example I give everybody is you walk
I
into
don't
like
even look.
Best Buy. Yeah, pretty much. You
Yeah,
walk into Best Buy, you see every genre of games. What's the one that you're just like walking by without even like taking a glance?
sports games.
I hear sports games the most, and I feel so bad for it. Because sports
It's
games used to be so
it's
good.
honestly like way back like at Windows 95, I played
You went way back. God damn.
NHL NHL, one of those NHL games, and being new to the country, playing a hockey game, being an Asian Filipino person who has just recently experienced snow, playing a hockey game was very, very interesting to me, and I played a lot of that. That's
Canada.
basically the first and last sports game I played.
Canada.
I'll look at I'll look up baseball games once in a while because I love baseball. But other than that, I don't, I'm not interested in sports games. I don't do racing games. Oh, another one, I don't do competitive games. It stresses the heck out of me.
Hmm.
I can't play competitive games. So no battle
Yeah.
royale, no Fortnite, and all that jazz.
Oh man, I am not a big fan of battle royale games. Personal,
Mm,
I just don't like it. I don't like going into the game and not being sure if I'm going to be playing for 5 minutes or 25
mm,
minutes. You know what I mean?
right.
Because as
Yeah.
soon as you die, it's like, all right, back to the lobby, start all over again,
Hmm.
try again,
Yeah.
and it's just not that great to me. I mean, the only time I guess I'll do it is if I'm like with a squad, because then it's kind of fun. Because then you're like backing each other up, but not so much just alone. Seems boring, personally. Personal.
Yeah, it's just a personal thing, right? It's just I know it stresses me out. Another, I guess I forgot this history information about myself. I played an unhealthy amount of hours on World of Warcraft as well. I don't know if you heard that. My husband just, ugh. Yes, it was an unhealthy amount.
Sounds like he's happy you're
Um,
done with that.
yes. So I only did the PvE aspect of WoW because every time I tried to do the PvP aspect, um, it was just too much for me. And scheduling time to raid with other people, getting the confidence to go on voice and talk to them. Back then, I was not a grown up enough person, an evolved enough person to have the confidence to do that. So I think that still kind of carries over. I still picturing myself playing a competitive game. Just ugh, I can't. It scares me just thinking about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess if that's not your jam, it's just not your jam. I
Hmm.
guess.
Yep.
But something a little bit more exciting now. What's the best 3 games that you played in 2022? And it doesn't have to be
2022.
brand new games. It can be some games that came out maybe like a few months before or a few years before or whatever. But what was the best games that you played during that time? 3.
I'm going to exclude. Let's exclude Chained Echoes and God of War. I think I've talked about Chained Echoes enough. If I haven't sold everybody on it yet, I'm not doing a very good job. Play Chained Echoes. um, and God of War, which was my previous game of the year prior to Chained Echoes dethroning it. So the best 3 games that I played in 2022. Another thing about me is I do play a lot of indie games, and I love Metroidvania and Souls-like games. So I'll play those as well. I'm not just a AAA gamer, definitely not. So my favorite ones would be The Messenger. It is a little bit of, I don't know what it was released, but it's an indie Metroidvania 2D platformer game. And the reason why I was introduced to it to begin with was because I'm really looking forward to their upcoming um, JRPG called Sea of Stars. I'm hoping to get a release date for that soon. And The Messenger, really good gameplay, amazing soundtrack, great writing, hilarious. I would highly recommend that. Um, Another one I played last year was A Plague Tale Requiem. It is more of is more because I have an emotional connection with it, similar to the emotional connection that I have with Ragnarok, being a mother. So the act of escorting somebody who is a little bit vulnerable and having that adventure with them, um, it felt more emotional for me as a mother. So that's why it was good for me, as well as the fact that it's one of my first bike and stream game. So I really valued my experience with A Plague Tale Requiem. And
Man, that's a
lastly,
heavy game to do as a first bike and stream. Jeez Louise.
if Doc Dark actually subscribed and saw me for the very first time on my very last episode of A Plague Tale Requiem, at the ending, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but he saw me in tears, basically. um, he
The
saw me for
ending's
the
wild.
very first time in tears because of that game. It really hit hard, honestly. So, very good game. So
Yeah.
another game, the last one that I could probably think of that stands out to me was What Remains of Edith Finch. A short game,
Mm.
but very emotional. Um,
Very. The swing
it,
part had me
yeah.
going. That shit was wild. That and the fish part where you're cutting the heads off of all the
Oh my
fish.
God.
That part right
Yeah,
there was messed up.
storytelling in that game was just really good. It's such a simple game. It's all about just, discovering your past, but the way that they do it is so good, so surreal. The fish head, um, the the one that got me the most was when you see the 3 empty beds because they've died, and you find out how one of the kids had died in the bathtub, and that freaking killed me. That killed me. Did I stream that game? I don't remember. No, no, I don't think I did. I don't remember. Maybe I didn't. But yeah, so that had me in tears as well. I'm the type of gamer that I prefer story focused, linear, narrative driven games. So I guess that's the reason why I'm also more of a PlayStation gamer, I guess. And I really like those. Like one of my favorite developers or publishers is Annapurna because Annapurna, yeah, Annapurna
Hmm.
and Digital Devolver. They do a lot of really fun games like that as well because of those narrative-driven games. So those are my
So,
three games: Messenger, Plague's Tale, and What Remains of Edith Finch.
how about that Game of the Ward nominee, Stray?
Oh,
What did you think of that? Did you love it?
I was super hyped for that game. This is weird. So there's a little bit of a weird psychology thing that happened. I don't know what happened, but I was like, I'm gonna buy this game day and date. It's mine. It's about a cat and a robot. It's gonna be awesome. And I didn't play it. I downloaded it on my PlayStation Plus and I did end up playing it. Maybe it's because I didn't buy the game and it didn't
Like you
give
didn't
me a
turn it
sense of
on?
urgency to play. No, I played it. I got to a point to I played the beginning of it, let's say.
So you did that first
But
chase scene where you're like running away from all those
yeah,
like weird little like
like rat things.
those little tinykin looking things.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, but I didn't continue with it. I didn't have that sense of urgency to play. I got distracted very easily by other games. I still have this mentality like it's there for me to play, so I'll play it later. I'm gonna play it eventually because Xenoblade and Stray were the only two games that were nominated for Game of the Year that I didn't experience. So I will get to it eventually.
Now I got
Yeah.
one other question to ask you that has to do with Stray. Would you agree
Hmm.
with Infinite Umbra in the chat that
What do
Stray
you say?
was the most overrated game of 2023? Do you think that's true, or do you think they deserve what they got? Because I feel like I'm a little
They don't.
uncertain about this because it's just like I see that this is an indie. This is kind of becoming more of an era where indies are getting more popular, which is cool, which is great.
Which is
Highlight the
amazing.
indies. Highlight the indies. That's
Hmm.
dope because they're the ones pushing games forward, right? But at the same time, some of the awards that this thing came or got nominated for, it was like, but was it that
What were the
big?
categories?
Well, one was Game of the Year, obviously.
Yeah.
I think the other one was it wasn't art style because I think Elden Ring won that. I think it was
Hmm.
like innovative play style or like something in that direction where it was like,
Long story short, I don't think it deserved it.
ooh, okay,
Grin. Mostly because I play a lot of indies. So, I play a lot of indies, and again, like I said, story-driven games. It's hard for me to say because I didn't experience it in its entirety, even though it's a short game. So, but based on the comments that I've seen, based on the gameplays that I've seen from other people, my husband played it. I watched him play a lot of it, but I didn't play it myself. So again, I don't have the full picture. But in terms of the accolades it's received, I don't know. I feel like maybe the game of the year, I would say if I had a choice, my game of the year indie slot would probably go to Nobody Saves the World. That's my personal taste. I
okay.
wish they had nominated that instead. That was a very hidden gem game for me. No one talked about it. It was on Game Pass. It was on everything. Very good game. Again, recommended. um, sorry, what'd you say? I don't know what that is. Ghost Song. That was mid.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I love that game, but it's not. It's got a lot of almost theirs. It's almost there. I loved it personally, but it's not quite there that it would be a top tier Metroidvania, for example.
Are you looking forward to Silk Song then?
Mm, I haven't played Hollow Knight.
Oh, okay. So getting to that.
I need to play that because it's one of those, a must play, and I haven't played it. Which is weird because I pride myself as really liking Metroidvania games. Um, what were we talking about? Oh, Stray. Stray. I just don't think that. I think a lot of people voted emotionally, which is okay because we like games based of the emotional connection we have with it. Gameplay wise, a lot of people wanted to have your own jump button. I could see in the developer's perspective with the story they're trying to tell why letting you jump wherever you want may not be the direction that they want to do. Um, in terms of the story, I know the the little cat is just trying to get back to his little brothers and sisters, but I don't know the interaction that he would have experienced, it would have experienced with the robots. So I can't really speak towards that. Graphically, it looked good for an indie. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it didn't. It would. I feel like Stray was an emotional nomination because of. I hate saying this because I feel like it belittles the game, but at the same time, they did a really good job. But I feel like it's the cat game. People love cats, therefore it won, or
Right.
therefore it got nominated.
Yeah, you got nominated. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well,
Mm.
moving on. We only have a few more questions left. I know it's getting kind of late for some of you guys, so I'm going to try to respect your guys' time. Try to keep this last little bit tight. But if you were to revive two games that are dead and gone completely, like the IPs are just dead, what would
Mm.
be the two games that you'd bring back? And you have to give it AAA, you're throwing money at the
AAA
wall at this
DLC.
one.
I would say Vagrant Story because it hurts for me to play that game now. I can't, it's too blurry. I would love for Square Enix to just buckle up and get that done. And Parasite Eve. Parasite Eve because I never got to experience Parasite Eve 1 and 2, and I know I've heard from so many people that it's very, very good. And again, it's at that stage where I can't look at it. I can't play it because it's just I can't. And I want them to redo it so I can experience it in um its glory. And I don't know if I'd want them to do it in a Final Fantasy VII remake style where the gameplay's been innovated. I think I would appreciate that as well, but I would want them to change the story because I want those games redone for me to experience it for the first time, especially Parasite Eve. Vagrant Story I played. That one I just want to um replay again in a less crappy version.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Simple and straight to the point. All right. But now I'm wondering, what's your most anticipated game for this year? I'm going to have you choose one first, and then I'm going to break it into three categories. So go with the first
Okay.
one.
Go with the first one, Hogwarts Legacy.
Throughout the entire year, that's what you're excited for. Okay.
I'm very
Hogwarts
excited.
Legacy.
That was all I wanted to play last year. That's all I wanted to play last year, and it got delayed. I was like, screw you, Ragnarok. I want to play Hogwarts.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out during around the holidays. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Hogwarts probably, sorry, Ragnarok probably wouldn't have gotten played until later on if Hogwarts released on time.
That game of the year conversation might have been a little different too. Possibly.
Exactly.
It all depends.
If they pull it off.
Yeah. I mean, they could definitely give some games a run for their money this year as well. I mean, everyone's talking about that game. There's even when there's a boycott for a game, that's how you know it's big. I mean, that's how you know it's
pay attention.
It's insane.
I don't join that conversation. I play games as my hobby for me, and no one else can control how I'm going to spend my hobby.
There you go. Love it. But yeah, I mean, that game's going to give a lot of games a run for its money if it comes out solid. So, I mean, and this is an insane year. We got, Redfall, Starfield, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man, new Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, I don't care about Spider-Man.
I know. I mean, that's insane because you're sitting next to a pillow, or maybe you're hugging it right now. I don't know what you're doing with it, but you got that Spider-Man somewhere around you. You just hate it. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I gotta ask you, what is it?
Open world games. I don't like open world games.
But you got Skyrim. That thing is huge.
Okay. There's multiple. Okay, let me
what's happening here?
Doc Dark right now. There is levels as to why I don't like Spider-Man. So I don't like superhero games because I feel it's silly that you can easily get killed by nobodies. That's number one. Number two, I don't like the open world aspect where there's just so many things going on. I get overly overwhelmed. And lastly, just because I say I don't like open world games doesn't mean I won't play them. I just don't prefer them. I learned last year that I have completed a total of one open world game, even though I've spent so many hours with them.
Are you talking about completed as in platinum, or are you talking about completed as in like just finish the game?
I just finished the game. So let's go back to Skyrim. My husband's just like face palmed right now because he hates. Brace yourself. He hates that I have not finished Skyrim, even though I have spent probably like 500 hours on that game. I played every single thing except the story.
I mean,
and I didn't finish it.
I mean, that's a choice though, right? I guess.
I haven't met the Greybeard.
All right. That's interesting. 500 hours and you haven't done that, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean that's throughout the different versions of the game as well, right? Making new characters, playing with mods on the PC, and then later on when they introduce mods on console, playing around with making the game more beautiful, having different origin stories based on what class you could do. Like mods definitely do a really good job in elongating the replayability of that game. But the only open world game that I've finished is Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm actually the type of gamer that doesn't go back to replay games for DLC or expansion. But I actually played the Ikishima expansion for Ghost of Tsushima. So that's my only game from my memory that I completed that's open world. So I didn't even complete one of my favorite games, Dragon's Dogma. I found out I didn't finish that game. Like, what the heck? How can I speak so highly of a game I didn't finish? Anyways, yes.
I mean, yeah. I'm sure a lot of people that voted for Elden Ring didn't finish it.
Oh, that's true.
So
that's also
it just is what it is.
That's why I couldn't get into Elden Ring. My biggest gripe about Elden Ring is it's open world.
So you were down to get your hands dirty in the Souls game, but it was open world that took it out of you.
Exactly.
That's
I
insane because
love,
that's what got me into it. That's what got me into it,
yeah,
is that it
like,
was open world, so I can get the hell away from this crazy ass tree sentinel that's trying to take my neck. I
mhm.
mean, open world opened the game up for me, but it's interesting to hear from somebody else that actually kind of made them walk away from it.
Yeah, if it were done a little bit better, I won't get into it right now because again, we're trying. It's a little bit late, you said, right? So
Right.
I won't get into that right now. But if it were done a little bit differently, it it would I would be more willing to play it
Fair
because
enough.
I
Fair
did like
enough.
the game. It just didn't have enough the direct. It just didn't have enough direction that I needed in order to keep my attention.
Fair. Yep. I mean, that game, you're right. I mean, I bet that's one of the most, that's probably the most YouTubed game last year, and trying to figure it out. Cause I mean, you
Yes,
ask a ton of people, what's that story about? And I mean, I
no
got
one knows.
that thought process from Lemon 108 Dragons TV. Shout out to him, dope dude. But he was like, he asked me straight up, like I mean, cause he's a very straightforward individual, if you know him, very straightforward and very, sometimes a little aggressive, but I like it. I like it. He's a New York dude. That's just what they do. Um, but anyways, he came up and he was like, "Yo, what's your game of the year?" And I was like, "It's Elden Ring because I hate Souls games and I beat it." And he was like, "All right,
That's fair.
I'm just curious if that's your favorite game this year. What was the story about?" And I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "Fuck." I don't.
I did
It
not
was
care about
about getting
any of the
in
Game of the Year
the
nominations.
seat. I want to take the Elden Lord seat. I think that's what I want, right?
Yeah, I didn't care about any of the Game of the Year nominations as long as Elden Ring did not win Best Narrative. That is all I care about. If Elden Ring had won Best Narrative, boy oh boy, I would have been so angry because the you know who told the story for Elden Ring? YouTubers did, not Miyazaki, not FromSoft. So they did not do any storytelling. YouTubers did. So thank you, YouTubers, for being nominated for Best Narrative for 2022.
That was high school. All right.
Shout out to
So
Baki Vidya.
now we're gonna end off the show with the last couple of questions I ask every show to every guest. And the first one's gonna be, what frustrates you about gaming, if anything at all? And I know there has to be something. And this can be in any
Um,
facet. So whether it's like development, community, just whatever you can think of. If it bugs you in gaming, let it be known.
it would probably be, especially now experiencing this whole potential Twitter drama, it is outrage. I don't like the outrage for everything. Every little thing there's is to be outraged about. Frame rates. I hate to focus on frame rates. Oh, it's missing 2 frame rates. Outrage. Oh, it's been delayed by a month because of, so and so. Outrage. Yeah, just everything is blown out of proportion. I want us to be able to go back. Like, people are given way too much information, which is understandable because we're putting our money in the line. But at the same time, people need to do their due diligence if they want to spend their money on a hobby. Do your due diligence. Do you want to play this game? Watch a couple of YouTube videos, read some reviews, fine. But uh, because people have access to so much information, there's also so much outrage, and that's probably the thing that's ruining gaming the most for me. Yeah.
I actually
What was
put
the other
up a.
question?
Well, I haven't asked you yet.
Okay,
I
okay, yeah.
I actually put up a Twitter poll just the other day asking, or actually, I think it was earlier today, asking if gaming, no, it was yesterday, asking if gaming was mainstream. And I put like the different choices of like, yeah, it is. It's on its way up, yada, yada, yada. Where do you think gaming kind of is in like the world's kind of view? If you were to guess, because this is obviously just opinion.
Yeah. Um, the market share and mind share for gaming has increased so much over the last few years that you're no longer like there'll still be close-minded people that will frown upon gaming, my parents included. It's like, oh, you're 36 years, you're turning 36. What are you doing? Anyways, um, however, I do think we're at a point where everybody wants to get in on gaming because it is now what people want. It's no longer niche because the it's been opened up to, as much as people hate to admit, mobile is a gaming platform and it's getting those really casual, oh, I can play while I'm pooping, or I can play, in the train or whatever. It's getting all those people, and that's considered gaming, whether you want to believe it or whether you want it or not. And it puts it in a situation where gaming is definitely no longer niche, in my opinion.
Okay, so would you say comfortably that it is growing? It's kind of growing, or it's kind of dying? I mean, obviously, I don't think you're going to pick the last one.
Yeah, anybody who thinks gaming is dying is just it's just
Negative.
cray.
They're just
Super cray.
negative.
Yeah, I don't know what bubble they're living in, but yeah. Anyways, I think it is definitely growing. Whatever the highest growing is. We're at a point where one of the best forms of storytelling is now through video games to a point where we're getting a lot more adaptations of video game IPs into other media, like obviously TV, movies, and all that stuff. And like The Witcher, for example, most people, the author of The Witcher, even though I heard he hates the gaming platform as a storytelling platform, his sales for his novel skyrocketed because of CDPR. So there's just a lot of market into gaming that people can no longer ignore it, and the fact that um, Microsoft, a software company that's into gaming, obviously is making such a huge purchase that's making headlines in finance and business, not just in the gaming aspect. It really shows that it's not just for nerds and weebs and basement dwellers.
Yeah, it's
For
not just
everybody.
it's not just rattling the cage for gaming. It's rattling like the world. It's
Exactly.
like yeah. I mean, it has people's eyes on gaming that you never thought would be looking at it at this point, which which is absolutely insane. So I agree with you. I think it's growing. Because I mean, the way you're seeing these companies kind of, whether you want to say come and go or like come up or fighting for their spot. I mean, you're seeing Sony saying, we're actually pissed at Microsoft this generation. We were like, we didn't even acknowledge them last generation. They weren't. They were the media player, according to you, right? We ain't even acknowledging them. They're like we're blowing them out the water. But this generation, it seems like Nintendo's on the ball. They're not messing around with no crazy ass, Wii. The second Wii that came out. Oh man, God, I can't believe I'm Wii U. Thank you. I was blanking out on that. They don't have no crazy Wii U. They got a Switch that is selling like crazy, and it's been selling like crazy for years now. And they just came out with that, OLED version that's still selling like crazy. They got, and then PlayStation's out here fighting, fighting for games and then buying up all these different, companies. And the Xbox is making big splashes, going the complete opposite direction that they were going last generation, where it seemed like they were dying. At this point, it feels like they took a knee and ate a sensu bean, and they got right back up, and they're ready to fight. They're ready to fight. Yep. So, I mean, this is definitely the most interesting time. And then you also got like other people that aren't even making consoles, like Tencent and Embracer and all these other companies buying up studios. Amazon's getting more dug in. They're trying to add their TV shows to their music, to their gaming. It's like it's all coming together. Like all these different ways to get subscription services to enjoy your entertainment is really got us, by the balls right now. And gaming is really skyrocketed ahead of like movie industry and stuff like that, which is insane. You're seeing actors, big name actors, happy to be in a game compared to being begged to be in a game.
Exactly. Yeah. It's no longer in a situation where, you've got your well-known voice actors, of course, but now you've got actors who we can actually recognize as their face because of the technology behind it and them wanting to be a part of their game because they know that, we spend, let's say 30 hours on a video game staring at their faces, playing as them, interacting with them, and being able to do that as opposed to a movie or, any other format is just, it's just so different. And I really think that people who are still unable to get behind the idea of video games and understand why other people like to play video games is just, it's hard for me to talk to those kind of people because they're very close-minded as to like where the world is going. And I feel like they just need to get in on that, get in a bandwagon.
It's crazy.
That's where we're going.
It's crazy the way gaming can get you from one place to another. Like I played, like I said, I was playing Quantum Break. I don't remember the actress name or the actor's name. But after I got done playing some of that, and like I said, I was getting motion sickness and whatnot. But I was like, man, I really enjoy that character. And I actually ended up going to go watch some shows that he was in and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And God of War, Atreus, that guy, I forgot his real name. It's like Sunjik or something like that. I don't remember. But he's a rapper. Did you know that?
What?
He's a rapper.
No.
He is a rapper. He is a
God.
real rapper. And there was one song I listened.
A GIF. I need somebody to make a GIF of Atreus and Atreus rapping now. It's gonna be, that needs to happen.
I'm telling you, he is a rap. He sings and raps. So I checked him out. He has a Twitter profile, and I clicked on it, and it goes straight to his to his Spotify and whatnot, and you can listen to the songs and whatnot. It was something else. Like I heard it from my buddy Matt Likes Games. That he's like, "Did you know Atreus was a rapper?" And I was like, "He ain't no fucking rapper. You kidding me?" And then I clicked on it, and like I listened to one of the songs. I was like, "All right, this is it's all right." And then I got a couple songs further, and I was like, "This specific song actually kind of slaps right here." And it's just weird how gaming can kind of like merge you into different lanes. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. But the last question is, oh man, we really stretched that one question. But but what would be a dream come true for you in gaming?
Just gaming in general.
Yeah, and this can be as grand as you want.
Probably would be. I would love for me to be able to revive my memories. I want to be able to experience all the memories I have with gaming in its shiny new form. If I could. You said I can be as grand as I want. I want remakes. Or rematch. I'll take remasters. It's just I want to be able to re-experience, because now I don't have the time to play those games, like those types of games, as I did before. As much as I love JRPGs, for example, I just can't play typical JRPGs anymore because I don't have the time and the patience to be able to do that. So my dream come true would be to have that feeling again, but be able to play it. It's kind of a vague wish, but that's what I want.
Fair enough. I mean, it's
That's
your
why
wish.
Yeah. I guess that's why I felt so good playing Chained Echoes, because it it tickled a lot of that wish. Um, because like it made me want to play JRPGs. It's even though it's not voice acted, I was happy to read everything because it was so well done. It doesn't have any of the JRPG tropes that JRPG obstacles that it usually has, like grinding, min-maxing, um, just a lot of the tedious things that I don't have enough time for as an adult. But I want to be able to experience all my memories again, like Dark Cloud. I don't know if any of you guys played that, Dark Cloud
That's an
1 and
old
2.
one.
Yeah, I would love to play those again. A third iteration of it or just a remaster, I would love. Um,
Was that on the
it's
original
just
PlayStation or was that PlayStation 2? I can't remember.
2, PlayStation
2?
2, because I
I thought it was in the
remember.
long box.
Yeah, I remember the red box because when I bought Dark Cloud 1, it was already greatest hits. So it had that red thing on top. So yeah,
Yep.
PlayStation 2.
Got
Yeah,
it.
it's just
Okay.
you know how you have those games that you played it and then you wish that you can experience it again for the first time. If I had a wish for gaming, I want a time machine or a way to erase my memory so that I can replay it again for the first time.
Yeah.
That's actually
Yeah.
that's a way less vague, but way less realistic.
Well, I tell you what, Christos, it has been a pleasure. It's actually been about 2 hours and 10 minutes that we've been kicking it here, sitting here chatting, doing
Oh
our
yeah.
thing and whatnot. It's been a fantastic time. The last thing, or one of the last things I want you to do real quick before we get up out of here is plug yourself one more time because I don't know if the people that are here are the same people that were here earlier. So go on ahead and let them
Right.
know where they can find you. And just so you guys know, her stuff is in the description below. So if you can't exactly spell out what she says or you want to know the specific, just go to the description and you can do that. But go on ahead and please let them know.
Okay. Hi everybody. I am Crystal. You can find me in most social media under KRYSTOAST, except Twitter, which is underscore KRYSTOAST. So that's KRYS toast. Toast. So I am a I guess I am just a mom, a wife, and a gamer who is dabbling on content creation, which is focused on gaming and health. So on my YouTube channel at Christos, you will find me going on my exercise bike and gaming and streaming at the same time. You will find me doing squats and gaming at the same time. And in the future, you will find me playing PSVR 2 and gaming at the same time, getting physical activities in. But I also do other content that I am not streaming, but my main thing is gaming and health. You can find me on Twitter, being a goofball, interacting with all sorts of people. Again, at underscore Christos. Those are my two main platforms. I am a gamer of all consoles, but I have high bias towards PlayStation. I am not a pony. So yeah, that's me. Oh, let me just say, let me just say that I also do not judge how people enjoy their gaming. So I don't care if people want a console war. So do your thing. I don't care. I will not judge you. That's your time. But I don't interact with them. So if you go through my followers and the people I follow, I follow all sorts of people, console war folks or not. But I follow them
Same.
because they're gamers, not because of their console war. I just don't interact with their console war posts. But yeah, no judgment here of what you want to do.
Yeah, Umbra said she clarified that
Yeah,
real quick. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I mean, it was an absolute pleasure having you here. I definitely got to get you on to my other podcast with the panel and whatnot and have you stretch your legs a little bit with us. It'd be really fun to definitely have you over there too at some point down the road, maybe sometime in February. That would be really cool. I'm expecting to have Ariel on there as well at some point here soon too.
Oh, cool.
So you'll definitely see some familiar faces if you haven't already, if you've seen that show. But yeah, it was great interviewing you today. I learned a ton of dope stuff about you. And then I also think you should open up a gym with video games
With
in
the
it.
screens and consoles.
Exactly. And
That would be epic.
yeah, and call it heavy gaming. And you just come there, get your lifting done, get you, I mean, yeah, you got some Wii Sports in
honestly,
there. You
like,
got some
yeah.
for like the novice. You got the Wii Sports for the novices, and then in the hardcore gamer room, you got stuff like Plague's Tale and a bike and shit like that. but it was fantastic interviewing you today. Really
I'm
was.
really happy to. I'm gonna put this in the column of really, really good experiences, and very happy that I said yes to. So thank you so much. I appreciate so very much, and I hope the people in chat or other people watching this in the future enjoyed it as well as much as I did.
Yeah, definitely. The last thing I'm gonna have you do before I close out this stream is I want you to describe gaming in just 3 words.
I thought about that. I don't know. That's hard, man. I should have watched other interviews and copied what they did.
You can make everybody's day
Like
and just
yourself.
say Xbox Game Pass.
Xbox Game Pass, man. I don't know. I would just say, I don't know. Don't stop gaming.
There you go. That's 3 good ones right there.
Yeah,
Strong,
don't stop
powerful, and
gaming.
to the point. Well, once again, thanks everybody for showing up and showing out. Thanks everybody that was in the chat. You guys kept it moving. You did your thing. I love all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming out here. Make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, and if you enjoy KRYSTOAST, definitely follow her on Twitter. Subscribe to her on YouTube. As you see, she's a pretty fun individual. She plays all sorts of different things. She has her own preference, just like we all really do. Some choose to be ignorant to it. I was ignorant to it when I first got on Twitter. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it a buck with everybody listening here. I came onto Twitter like I'm neutral, right? Knowing damn well that I was more in the Xbox. Knowing damn well.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. But thanks everybody for showing up. Thank you again, KRYSTOAST, for being here. You guys all be safe. And as I always say at the end of every stream, make sure y'all are keeping it gaming or keeping it moving. Peace out, y'all. Welcome to the Behind Them Sticks podcast, brought to you by TSWS Gaming.
Come and talk to me, Lennard Ray. Come on. Come and talk to me.
I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type of baby. Listen, I'm just saying we can rule the world, just me and you. If you quit playing, won't you take a chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk to me. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Look, see we vibing and you know it's true. Baby, what it do? Do for me and I'ma do for you. No doubt about it, Boosie. I'm a Midwest king looking